I love shounen, like a lot. Naruto was my gateway drug to the world of anime, and Dragon Ball Z cemented the shonen genre into my heart forever. So you can expect me to gobble up whatever new shonen comes out without hesitation. It's just a nice way to switch off my brain and enjoy the pure action and emotional scenes that come with the genre. While we don't get a lot more shonen than we used to, with a lot of the popular ones ending years ago, people have become a lot more critical of newer shonen, probably due to the nostalgia they have for the older stuff. That doesn't matter though, as shonen is still going strong, with new stuff, mostly manga, coming out along with anime adaptations in the horizon. One such shonen I was aware of but never really looked into it until it got an anime adaptation was Eden Zero. Eden Zero is a sci-fi shonen written by Hiro Mashima, the same guy behind Fairy Tail, hence why the characters look familiar. Like one look at the main character Shiki and you can see a striking resemblance to a cross between Natsu and Grey, but more on the art style later. It takes place in a futuristic universe inhabited by humans, aliens and robots, set in the Sakura cosmos, which is just one of the many cosmoses in the universe, filled with different planets, each with their own themes, ecosystem and a way of life. The anime follows Shiki, a human who has lived his entire life raised by robots on the planet Granbell, which was once a thriving theme park planet, but is now deserted and only robots inhabit it. One day, he runs into and befriends the space YouTuber duo of Rebecca and Happy, who came to visit Granbell to livestream. Suddenly, the robots which had raised Shiki begin to attack in order to force them off the planet and save Shiki from being stranded on Granbell alone. This sets Shiki, Rebecca and Happy off on an adventure to explore the cosmos, make friends and find Mother, the mysterious, colossally thick space goddess rumored to be able to grant any wish. It's a premise that sets up a grand space adventure as they go from planet to planet defeating foes and making new allies. What I really like about Eden Zero is its sci-fi setting, which is something that is surprisingly not that frequent in shonen. Most shonen are usually either high in fantasy with stuff like wizards, magical beasts and castles, or set in modern day with some magical elements sprinkled into it. There's not a lot of high-tech futuristic elements thrown into most shonen. Well, unless you're Gintama. Eden Zero on the other hand has a more futuristic cyberpunk-esque setting which the anime takes full advantage of, blending tech with fantasy. Everything in the world runs on ether energy, which is the world's own fancy way of saying magic. It does everything from fueling machines and technology to powering up people and weapons. It's not as complex as you'd think. And thanks to ether energy, you can just about look past all the stuff the anime pulls, like making a physical card out of thin air. But what makes Eden Zero so fun to watch? For starters, the characters. The main cast are all super likable with their own quirks that makes watching them all the more fun. Shiki just wants to make friends, so the first thing he does to anyone he meets is try to befriend them, though he comes off as awkward most of the time, which is kind of cute. Rebecca, who is constantly thinking of new video ideas and will go through with almost anything she thinks is going to make for a good video, which will help boost her channel. Even Happy, who seems to always find a way to chip in with a snark and sarcastic comment, is bound to make you chuckle at least. He's also a lot more sassy than his fairy tale counterparts. And their designs also play to their strengths too. When the manga was first announced, I heard a lot of people weren't into the way the characters looked as it was way too similar to Fairy Tail, but I actually think that helps make the series better. It's nice seeing some elements from Mashima's previous works find its way into Eden Zero, like how Homura kind of looks like an older, more serious Wendy, and I swear, Elsie is just Urza in space. It's nice because it gives a sense of familiarity, and if you are a fan of Fairy Tail growing up, it feels weirdly nostalgic. Heck, some of the Fairy Tail characters even make minor cameos in a few episodes, which honestly made me smile. Then there's the setting. The series makes sure to fully utilize the whole planet hopping to its fullest. Each planet is vastly different from each other, so everything feels fresh. You get just as surprised as the characters when they arrive at a new planet for the first time. They've each got their own themes, laws and history, making you quickly get interested in them and how they function. Like there's one planet that used to be teeming with nature and was a popular tourist spot before it became a den of criminals, ultimately turning the whole planet into the criminal underworld. Then there's another planet that's basically an MMO with the only way to access it being through diving in SAO style. It really sells you on the whole adventure aspect and leaves you looking forward to what the next planet will be. It also helps that the planets are tied to arcs. The arcs which are well paced. Segue into pacing. The way the series is paced is surprisingly well done, especially for a shonen. The arcs don't stay longer than they need to, which is good. From the start, their objectives are made clear, the villain of the arc is introduced, hijinks ensue, throw in some fan service, and top it off with our main character delivering the final blow. Every arc also contributes to the wider narrative in some form, like setting up some mysteries, which are very intriguing by the way, and introducing new characters and plot elements that play a larger role in future arcs as well, with satisfying payoffs. In just 16 episodes, the anime goes through 5 different arcs, which, for comparison, the first arc of Naruto, the Land of Waves arc, ran for 19 episodes. As someone who's older with a lot more responsibilities, time isn't something I have a lot of, so getting my shonen fix isn't as easy as it used to be, so it helps having a compact shonen like Eden Zero to watch during whatever small free time I get. It's like a bite-sized shonen without all the flashback and filler. So if you've got the time and love shonen, you should totally check it out. And if you are a fan of Eden Zero, let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This has been your very favorite slice of bread, signing off.